My name is Tammy Sadler-Jones. I'm the Assistant City Administrator, and I'd like to call to order the License and Variance Board meeting for Wednesday, January the 11th, 2017. Board members present: Scott Stokes, the Director of Public Works, to my left, and to his left is Brian Marcos, the Deputy Fire Chief. Christiana Craddock is the Executive Assistant to the City Administrator, and she will be taking the official meeting minutes. First item is a motion to add an agenda item.
Make a motion to add to the License and Variance Board agenda January 11th, 2017. Add an item, License 2017-01, Privilege License Request, Beer, Wine, and Liquor, 2728 Spring Road. Neighborhood Restaurant Partners, LLC doing business as Applebee's Neighborhood Bar and Grill, number 14, with Brian Christopher Johnston as the agent. Form of a motion.
I approve that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we add privilege license request to LIC 2017-01 to the January 11th License and Variance Board agenda. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. First item of business is public hearing, privilege license request LIC 2017-01, beer, wine, and liquor pouring, 2728 Spring Road, Neighborhood Restaurant Partners, LLC, DBA, Applebee's Neighborhood Bar and Grill, number 14, with Brian Christopher Johnston as the agent applicant. Is Mr. Johnston here? Can you step to the podium, please? And good morning. For the record, can you state your name?
Brian Christopher Johnston.
Okay. And have you received a copy of the city's alcohol beverage ordinance?
Yes.
Okay. And have you read it, and do you understand it?
Yes.
And do you agree to abide by the guidelines as set forth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you have completed the responsible alcohol sales class?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what steps do you have in place at your store or restaurant, to ensure that none of your employees sell alcohol to underage persons?
Every day they sign a sheet saying, shows the date that you're old enough to purchase alcohol.
Okay.
So every day they sign that sheet. We keep that on file and ensure that we have the sign up that shows the date and everything. We have responsible alcohol service classes that we teach them. They go through it during training. We have videos that we show them and all that stuff. So,
okay. Any additional questions for the applicant?
Is there point of sale on your registers?
yes, sir.
What is your role with this particular restaurant?
I am the area director, and I'm in there 2-3 times a week, making sure that they're doing everything they're supposed to, making sure that those sheets are signed and follow up on those type of things. I go through I do some of the training with some of the team members, the responsible alcohol service training as well.
Do you serve as agent at any other stores?
No, sir.
This your first venture as agent?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you understand from time to time that the Smyrna Police Department does undercover sting operations, and if any of your employees do sell alcohol to a minor, that they will be taken to jail immediately?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The Smyrna Police Department did do a background investigation, and there was no information that would preclude issuance of this particular license. So with that said, this is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you step to the podium at this time. All right, seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve license request LIC 2017-01, privilege license, beer, wine, liquor pouring, 2728 Spring Road, Neighborhood Restaurant Partners, LLC, doing business as Applebee's Neighborhood Bar and Grill, number 14, with Brian Christopher Johnston as agent applicant.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve privilege license request LIC 2017-01. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Am I?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V17001, allow side setback reduction from 10 feet to 1 feet for carport, land lot 453, 0.259 acres, David Clements, 1003 Oakdale Road. Is Mr. Clements here? Okay, can you step to the podium, please? And for the record, can you state your name?
Yeah, I'm Anthony Joseph. I'm representative for David Clements.
Okay, Anthony Joseph. Okay. And can you tell us about this variance request?
Yeah, the customer just wants to be able to cover their cars in the carport, and the current line is not giving us the room that we need to put the carport up, so we're just requesting to have that changed so that we can, install it.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant's representative? All right, what, go ahead.
How are you going to, I guess the carport is going to be attached to the house itself?
Yes.
How's that going to happen?
We were going to block take off the fascia board and the gutters and adequately block in between the tails, and then fasten it with lag bolts or dead bolts. And then there's going to be supporting columns up underneath it on that side, and then supporting columns up on the other side as well.
Any other questions? At this time, we'll have comments from our staff. Joey Stobbs, and you could sit right on the front row, please.
Joey Stobbs, Planner 2 with Community Development. The applicant's requesting a variance at 1003 Oakdale Drive to reduce the side setback from 10 feet to 1 feet. This is for a carport addition. The applicant's requesting to allow the setback to construct a carport to the side of the house. It'll be attached to the house, and it's approximately 17.5 feet by 27 feet. This is over the existing driveway, so they're just going to have the carport over the existing driveway. There's no increase in impervious area, as that's already paved. So we've reviewed the request, and signage has been posted, properly advertised. We've recommended approval with 2 conditions. 1, a condition upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted, and 2, gutters and downspouts will be installed to divert stormwater away from the adjacent properties.
Any questions for the staff? Mr. Josephs, do you accept the conditions as stated?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, thank you. This is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request P17-001, allow a side setback reduction from 10 feet to 1 feet for a carport, land lot 453.259 acres, 1003 Oakdale Drive, with the following conditions: that the approval of the requested variance shall be conditioned upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with a variance application, and that gutters and downspouts will be installed to divert water or stormwater away from the adjacent properties.
I second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly seconded that we approve variance request V17001. All in favor, please vote. All right. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V17002, allow increase in accessory structure size, land lot 310, 0.15 acres, Carol Jennings, 1093 Berkeley Drive. Applicant has requested to withdraw the application without prejudice. Prejudice. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion to approve the withdrawal of variance request V17-002 without prejudice.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we withdraw variance request V17002. All in favor, please vote. All right. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is a public hearing, variance request, pardon me, V17003. Allow construction of new home on lot below minimum zoning requirements, land lot 520, 0.248 acres, SNE Development, David Serzyk, 2626 Hickory Hill Drive. Is you Mr. Serzyk? Serzyk, pardon me.
No problem.
Can you actually state your name again for the record?
Yes, good morning. My name is David Serzyk. I'm here on behalf of SNE Development.
Okay, all right. And can you tell us about this particular request?
Yep. We purchased the property at 2626 Hickory Hill to construct a new single-family home around 3,400 square feet. Upon submittal of the site plan and plans, we were notified that the property was 10,824 square feet, which is below the R15 minimum for 15, which is 15,000 square feet. So essentially, even though we're zoned R15 and we were kind of, so to speak, grandfathered in to build a new home, we don't meet the minimum requirement. So we were needed to request a variance. Our plan is to tear down the existing 1950s 800 square foot home and then construct a new home, 3,371 square feet, and which will meet kind of the surrounding neighborhood and look very similar to the homes that are on the street that are existing. So,
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? All right. At this time, we'll have comments by the staff, and you can sit on the front row, please.
Applicant's requesting a variance at 2626 Hickory Hill Drive to allow new construction on a lot of record below minimum requirements. This property is roughly a little over 10,000 square feet, and it's zoned R15, which is a minimum lot size of 15,000 square feet. There's an existing home on the property. It's roughly 800 square feet, built in 1950. That structure is proposed to be removed and replaced with a new 3,371 square foot two-story home. Since that old structure will be removed, any grandfathering on that structure goes away when it's removed, and we have to review the new house as if there was no structure there. So our ordinance requires us to have a variance hearing whenever there's a new construction on a lot below the minimum zoning requirements. And that's why this case is here. The proposed house will meet all of the other setback requirements. There will be no there's no variances for impervious coverage. It meets all of the other zoning requirements. So it's just the existing lot of record is below the R15 lot size. So we recommended approval. Signage has been posted. It's been advertised. We recommend approval with one condition. That approval of the requested variance is conditioned upon the development of the property in substantial compliance with the site plan and elevation submitted with the variance application.
Any questions for the staff? For the applicant, do you agree to the one condition as stated?
I do.
Okay. All right. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. All right. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request V17-003, allow construction of a new home on a lot below the minimum zoning requirements for a lot area, land lot 520.248 acres, 2626 Hickory Hill Drive.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V17003. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V17007, allow increase in sign area for replacing a non-conforming monument sign, land lot 810, 22.53 acres, 8 Cumberland Way, City of Smyrna. So, Joey, are you speaking on this one?
I guess. This request is on behalf of the city. The property Jasmine at Galleria is an apartment complex on Spring Road. Due to ongoing road improvement work on Spring Road, the existing monument signs were removed. The applicant, we're just requesting to allow a new sign be installed, the same square footage as the previous sign. But due to the road work, it had to be removed. We're just requesting that it be replaced at a new location. About it. There's it's been advertised and adjacent properties were notified. We've recommended approval.
Any questions for the staff?
Is there a drawing where this thing's going to be located in our package?
No, I don't have that. It will be, before it's replaced, there will be a sign application submitted where it will have the site plan and we will review it. So.
Okay. Any other questions? This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request V17-007, allow increase in sign area for replacing a non-conforming monument sign due to the Spring Road roadway project, land lot 810 to 2.53 acres, 8 Cumberland Way.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V17007. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V17004, allow reduction of side setback from 12 feet to 7.5 feet, land lot 525, 0.45 acres, 3370 Lee Street, Fairbanks Construction. Joe Powell. Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Jones. How are you doing?
Good. Just for the record, can you state your name?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Joel Powell, and I'm representing the property owners Rich and Fran Lloyd.
Okay.
This morning at about 8 o'clock, I got an updated site plan that I emailed over to the city, but there were some technical difficulties.
Okay.
So you have it for your records.
Thank you.
This actually is Mr. Stokes' request yesterday to identify the specific to the retaining wall. I've changed the trajectory of the retaining wall and then the distance from the existing driveway to the existing sewer line. Yeah, I will. All right, so what I just gave you guys is the site plan that illustrates the sewer line running down the southern boundary and the distance of the existing driveway at approximately 5 feet to that sewer line. It also changes the trajectory, the movement of the proposed retaining wall on that southern boundary and its relationship. Before, if you remember, the earlier site plan had the retaining wall crossing the sewer line. Mm-hmm. This actually turns it and keeps it on plane with the existing driveway. So just to get that out of the way this morning. So my name is Joel Powell. I'm representing Rich and Fran Lloyd of 3370 Lee Street. The Lloyds purchased this home in March of 2016. This home was a nice old Smyrna ranch, but it was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home that needed updates in just about every way. Phase 1 of the Lloyds plan included the complete renovation of the main level and the basement area. The renovation included removal of walls to create an open living type environment, and it was all centered on a new chef's kitchen as the focal point. Phase 2 of the plan is construction of a 25 by 25 addition to include a new master suite above a 2-car garage. As part of that plan, we initiated a pair of variance requests to include a side setback encroachment on the northern boundary and a 75-foot impervious surface encroachment on the rear of the addition. After speaking with the city engineer, Eric Randall, who, for the record, is not in attendance. Sorry. After speaking with Eric Randall and listening to his suggestions, we weren't initially going to put in a concrete driveway out back. It has an existing driving, like a pea gravel area, and we were going to leave that because of the impervious surface and only apply for the variance for the corner that our addition clipped into it, approximately 4 or 5 feet, something like that. After talking with Eric, his concern was that that's fine and good for this particular occupant, but in the future, if somebody moved in, they may want a concrete driveway, and he would rather us plan for that and go ahead and put in the necessary, let's call it storm detention, for lack of a better phrase, but he wants to go ahead and plan for that impervious surface encroachment, have some type of containment structure installed as part of this addition, so that so that a concrete driveway could be put in correctly without having an adverse effect on the impervious surface. The retaining wall variance is to encroach on the southern boundary approximately 4 feet into the 50-foot undisturbed buffer, and this is in an effort to avoid removal of a giant poplar stump. I was out there again yesterday, and this may or may not be a necessary variance. I'd like the flexibility to place the wall not closer than 5 feet to the sewer line, but this is not absolutely critical to our plan. There are, as mentioned, several challenges with this lot. The poplar stump is a challenge. The stream buffer creates a challenge. The sewer line that we found out, fortunately, from Scott on Tuesday, that there is a sewer line running down the southern boundary. But the original construction of the house was placed inside the side setback on the northern boundary, and it's on an angle not parallel to that property line. So as we project our addition further back into the lot, it gets closer. It's more of an encroachment on that northern boundary. I think that covers just about everything. If you guys have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Any questions?
Well, I mean,
one more item I
it's
want
not
to
really
point
a
out.
question. It's just, you're going to have to be 10 foot with your wall off that sewer.
10 foot off that sewer. What about the driveway? If you, the existing
driveway's fine. I don't need a wall structure on top of or within the easement or within the boundaries of that sewer.
okay.
All right, even though it's a modular engineered wall that could be disassembled and reassembled, you just don't want it there. Okay, understood. All right, one other item I want to point out is this newest rendition of the plan on the northern boundary. The back right corner, as you see, the existing structure is 9 foot 2 inches from the house. The addition projects 6 foot 7 inches. On our variance application, I believe it's 7 foot 1 inch. Sorry? 7.5 inches. Sorry. Mm-hmm. So specific to variance request V17-004, we would need that to move from 7.5 feet to 6.7 feet, please.
Okay. Any other questions? All right. Well, at this time, I'll have comments by Joey Stobbs.
Applicant's requesting a variance at 3370 Lee Street to reduce the side setback from 12 feet to the amended 6.7 feet for a addition to a existing single-family home. The existing home has been there many years. It's 1,800 square feet in area. The minimum house size in R20 is 2,100 square feet. So this addition would bring the home size into conformance with the R20 standards. However, that the existing home is non-conforming to the side setback of 12 feet, as it existing is 9.2 feet away from the side property line. And since the home is it's not parallel to the street, it's kind of at an angle. The further to the rear property line you go, the more it angles in toward the side setback. So that's why it needs a greater setback than what it currently is. This structure also encroaches into the 75-foot impervious setback, which I know is the next request, but it's kind of related. It just narrowly encroaches into that setback. We're 30, 40 square feet or so of area, so it's not anything major, but it is there. So we've reviewed the request. Signage has been posted and it's been advertised. We've heard no objection to the request. We recommend approval with 2 conditions. That one, it's conditioned upon substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the application, and 2, issuance of the building permit is contingent upon the submittal of a stormwater management plan that meets the requirements of the city engineer.
Any questions for the staff? And Mr. Powell, do you accept the 2 conditions as stated?
Yes, we do.
Okay. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak, please step to the podium at this time. And for the record, you can just, nobody else is here except the staff. Seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request V17-004. Allow reduction of side setback from 12 feet to 6.7 feet. Land lot 525.45 acres, 3370 Lee Street, with the following conditions. The approval is conditioned upon a substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the variance application. Issuance of a building permit is contingent upon the submittal of a stormwater management plan that meets the requirements of the city engineer. And then the third requirement would be to ensure that no retaining wall or built retaining wall on this property is within 10 feet of the existing sanitary sewer.
Did you say 12 feet to 6.7?
Yes, 12 feet to 6.7, correct.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V17004. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V17005, allow encroachment into 75-foot impervious setback, land lot 525, 0.45 acres, 3370 Lee Street, Fairbanks Construction. Joe Powell is the applicant. Any other comments about this
Good
one?
morning, my name is Joel Powell. I'm representing Rich and Fran Lloyd. No other comments. I should have clarified when I got up initially that I was speaking about all three variances.
Yeah.
We just kind of lumped it into one great big presentation. But no, I don't have anything further to add
Okay.
to that.
Any questions for the applicant? All right, Joey, you have any additional comments?
Other applicants requesting a variance to allow encroachment into the 75-foot impervious setback. So a portion of the new addition will encroach into that 75 impervious setback, and then a new driveway will be installed. It's currently gravel. There are some other non-conforming structures in this setback. We are in favor of the applicant doing these improvements that will ultimately improve the existing conditions of the property with regard to the stream and the stream buffers and any erosion or sedimentation that could impact the stream. So in total, these improvements will improve the existing conditions on the property. So it is the part of the new addition and the new driveway that will encroach in that 75-foot impervious setback. That will be mitigated by the rain garden that's proposed in the rear yard. But we've reviewed it, have heard no objections. We've recommended approval with those same three conditions.
If I could just add one thing specific to the use of rain garden. I'd like the flexibility to work with the city engineer in designing a proper facility that he approves, not specific to a rain garden. I don't want to get locked into putting in a garden that my client may or may not want. It's just a nomenclature item. Is that all right?
I think the second condition allows that flexibility in the design. It will ultimately be submitted to our city engineer and for review, and the building permit will be contingent upon his approval.
Okay. And for the record, Mr. Powell, do you accept the conditions as stated for this particular item as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak about this item, please step to the podium at this time. All right, seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request V17-005, allow encroachment into the 75-foot impervious setback, land lot 525.45 acres, 3370 Lee Street, with the same stipulations as variance request V17-004.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V17005. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Next item is a public hearing, variance request V17006, allow encroachment into city's 50-foot in undisturbed buffer, land lot 525, 0.45 acres, 3370 Lee Street, Fairbanks Construction. Joel Powell is the applicant. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Joel Powell. Still, this part of the variance is just specific to working in the 50-foot undisturbed buffer, right? Okay, and I have no objection to keeping any retaining wall within 10 feet of the sewer line, so long as I can move the sewer line about 8 feet. joke. I'm sorry.
Scott, did you think that was funny? All right, Joey, you have any other comments?
This request to allow encroachment into the 50-foot undisturbed buffer is for the retaining wall that will be used to support the new driveway. Again, there are existing non-conforming structures in this buffer. In total, these improvements will enhance the existing conditions of the property. So we support the request and recommend approval with those same three conditions.
And for the applicant, do you accept the 3 conditions as stated?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Any questions for the staff? All right. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak regarding this issue, I ask that you please step to the podium at this time. Seeing no one, I would like to entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve variance request V17-006, allow encroachment into the city 50-foot undisturbed buffer, land lot 525.45 acres, 3370 Lee Street, with the same stipulations as stated in variance request V17-004.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve variance request V17006. All in favor, please vote. All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I'd like to apologize for stalking Scott on Tuesday.
Okay. Next item is approval of minutes. Approval of the minutes of the December 28th, 2016 meeting of the License and Variance Board.
Move to approve the License and Variance Board meeting minutes of December 28th, 2016.
Second that motion.
It's been motioned and properly second that we approve the meeting minutes from December 28th, 2016. All in favor, please vote. Motion passes unanimously. I'd like to declare this meeting adjourned at 10:37 a.m. Thank you.